Um, Another gorgeous sunset. Airplane. Keeps it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I am actually at a delivery. I just delivered a Barbie milkshake to someone, and I'm in the Marina District in Tampa, right past downtown. It's a nice area. And I thought, okay, this sunset is gorgeous again, so I'm gonna make another live because last night my phone went dead right in the middle of what I was saying. So you can enjoy the nice views again. Nice pinks, purples, blues. So gorgeous. So anyway, I'll pick up where I left off. So I was working as a travel nurse, travel tech. I think I was saying, speaking about how poorly they treat their employees. For example, one of the girls I worked with had cancer, beat it, was in remission, and had a scare, and found another lump, and was really upset and made an appointment. Anyway, turned out that she was on call one day during this time when she had the appointment and stuff, so she couldn't take the call. And for this particular facility, or no, maybe she had gotten a treatment and she was sick from the chemo. Anyway, basically their policy is that the person who's on call, it was something, I don't know, it was something very unreasonable. She had to find someone to replace, to take her call as she was sick in bed. And to me, that's just not ethical. Like, what are your directors for? What are your managers for? What are your charge? Like, it just seemed cruel to me. Anyway, so the day before my contract ended, I went in to speak and wrap things up and spoke up about how I felt it was unethical how they were treating their employees, and they fired me for, they said they won't allow me to speak bad about their facility. So anyway, just another reason why I have such an issue with working in my field of 23 years. It's just hurts my heart. Like, it's just, there's no, patients are customers now, and employees that are working their tails off to make millions for these hospitals are just treated so poorly, and it's not healthy, and anyway, all the stuff. So anyway, so at that point, I had found a 3-month lease in that area so that I'd have to drive back and forth because I was just not able to do that. Hola, Salvador. Hi, Summit. Nice to see you guys. Okay, so 6 weeks into the contract, the driving back and forth wasn't sustainable. Found a 3-month lease. My contract ended, so I had 6 more weeks left in this 3-month lease. Well, during that time, my apartment, I had been completely evicted and wasn't able to get all of my belongings and my 2 sons, all of our stuff. I wasn't able to get all of our stuff out because I would go on the weekends when I wasn't on call and try to move everything to storage by myself, no truck, and it was such a hard time. I didn't have anybody to ask help from, and anyway, it was difficult. So I not only lost the apartment, have an eviction on my record now, but I lost all the things I wasn't able to get. Like, they just took all of our stuff and disposed of it. Everything, all my kids' memories, all of our, the furniture I couldn't move. It was just heartbreaking. But anyway, so I guess, all this to say, like the last 3 years, it's been one trauma after another. It's not like a little, oh, that's tough. That's a tough story. It's just been hard things. So anyway, I was still in that area for 6 more weeks. When the contract was up, the lease was up, obviously I tried to find another job. Oh my God, that was another thing. I found a job at a yoga studio in the town, and I'm not gonna call anybody's name out, but it was a total racket. I worked a lot of hours for this particular woman, and she promised me the moon and was amazing and this and that and free classes, but she wasn't going to pay me to train. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can just kind of put my time in and then be paid after that. Well, my lease was up and she was kind of jerking me around, and I never got 1 cent from that lady. And I worked for her for probably 50 hours over the, 3 or 4 weeks I was working for her. So I'm like, what? The injustice, like, I just don't understand how people can do that. She did pay me. She sent the mail to the place I had leased. Well, I had moved already, and the person who owned it did get it and put it in a spot for me. There were 2 pieces of mail. Hid it in a spot on the property. Went to pick it up. Only 1 piece of mail was there, which was the junk mail. It wasn't the check. So, like, that's just one of the things. Like I'm saying, like, just these things keep happening to me that are unexplainable. Like, why would that one thing be gone? Like, you can't tell it was a check. It was just odd things. So that's the second time I was homeless. And at that point, I tried to stay in the area where my children are. I did go to a homeless shelter, which was very traumatizing. It was not good. I had a curfew. I had to check in and out, to even walk to my car to get anything. I couldn't stay overnight anywhere. Like, it was like a jail. And I had to do all these programs and this and that and get permission to, it was just, and I'm not judgmental, but the type people there, like, it was just so bad for my mental state. It was really bad. So I was there maybe 7, 8 days. What? I don't know. Anyway, just reading these comments, I do not understand, but whatever. This is my story for the people who want to get value out of it. And that's what it's meant for, so there we go. All right, so I left the homeless shelter and was staying with my kid's dad. He let me stay in the room, a couple of times, and staying with whoever I could here and there, and eventually found a friend that offered to let me stay in their extra room. So I had a place at least, and it was difficult. Not as difficult as now, like looking back, but it was very traumatic on me. Just, the sun's almost down. But, yeah, I was super grateful for those friends. Super grateful. But I was still, in the area. I was still able to go to my kids' hockey games. I was still able to see them often. I'd go see them every day. It wasn't ideal, but I was able to see them, my children, every day. So, finally in January, I get a call from a recruiter that I was offered a job at an Advent Health facility. And I was like, oh my God, it was like a miracle. And I was so happy. And I went to orientation, and it was beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh, I felt accepted. I felt safe. I felt amazing and so happy. And like, oh my gosh, things are finally turning around. It was just great. It was so great. I started working, and um, I didn't realize how much trauma I had. I was having a really hard time coping with getting back into regular life, working full time again, because I hadn't, been able to work full time since, I guess it was like 6 months or something. And then the trauma of losing all my things and my kid, like it was tough. So I was having panic attacks. Still trying to show the sunset. You can't really see very much now, but anyway. Hello. So as the job progressed, so with any job at a hospital, you're in orientation. You have to go through all the specialties, like ortho, neuro, urology, general, gynecology, like all the specialties, because as a surgical tech, you do pretty much everything. And by the airport. So you have to just get used to the doctors and the pace of the facility and, those type things. So it's usually about, I don't know, it's usually 3 or 4 months. And you're with someone else that's there. Like, I basically scrubbed the whole thing, but they were just there because I've got enough experience. I didn't need them to help me. But in most cases, like the quick ones where they're very specific, I did. But anyway, so I started, things became overwhelming in the OR in some cases. I was noticing people, like my manager, I don't know, there were just a lot of cliquey people. And at first I kind of fit in, and then all of a sudden, like, I was getting bad assignments and kind of the cold shoulder and treated unfairly, but it's nothing you can like prove or anything. It's just kind of the way the OR is. Like, you get the shit rooms and with the shit circulators and the like horrible cases, like nobody can really say, well, I don't know, you're doing that on purpose. So anyway, but it's something you notice, and it makes your job harder. Also during that time though, one of the girls there did tell me about a townhouse that they knew, somebody that was renting it. So I did find my townhome, and I was making good money. I even had a sign-on bonus. Like, everything was good financially, other than like getting called up on everything. Oh, during that time as well, before I got the job, my car was repossessed. Yeah. It was a nightmare trying to get that back too, because I was only working part-time. So in my field, it's called PRN. So I had a PRN position at a surgery center, and what that means is as needed. So I didn't have steady work, but I had work when they needed help. So I wasn't making enough money, and the whole time I was still trying to get a full-time job. All right, so anyway, I get my home. I'm trying to catch up on bills. Things seem pretty normal, other than, like adjusting to working again, and the panic attacks, which I had to leave a couple of times, leave the OR. Mind you, though, I was in orientation, so I didn't abandon the patient. I didn't just leave like that. You can't do that. But it was written up during Mental Health Awareness Month. At that, it was in May. And they asked if I was using the resources, the EAP, which is, and I was. I was using that. But anyway, long story short, I ended up getting fired for performance because, you can't. I should have had therapy then. Now that I look back, I should have gone to therapy. I should have been trying to explore medications, do something different. But I was just so in survival mode. I guess I thought I could handle it. Anyway, so I got fired in October. I used Airbnb to rent my kids' rooms every other week when they were at their dad's. I did odd end jobs. I did everything I could to try to save my townhome, but wasn't able to, and I lost it in January, and that is what led me here, homeless, for the third time. So I couldn't deal with the trauma of trying to stay close to my kids. Like, it was affecting them, seeing me, having such a hard time. So I decided to go home to Georgia, where my family is, so that at least I could have somewhere to stay and maybe like get a job, a part-time job, and get mental help. And that's what I did. I got a job at Starbucks, and they had free therapy. And that was amazing. It helped a lot. And I was there from January 11th till May 18th or something. And that's when my now friend, gifted me some money to get me back down here and to find a job and this and that. And still haven't found a job, and so here's where I'm at. After the money ran out that he gifted me for Airbnb, that's when I moved into my car. So that's my story. And I'm still trying to find full-time work. I don't know why it's so hard. Actually, I spoke with a really good friend of mine today, and she told me some things that could make a difference. I guess when you're applying places, they require to ask if you have a disability now. And I was putting yes, because it said, it listed all of them, and anxiety was one of them. She's like, don't put that. Because it is, I am getting help and it's being managed. But she said, like, when somebody's looking at a resume and you are qualified, but you have a disability, and there's somebody else that doesn't, and they're almost as qualified, they're going to pick that other person. So I'm like, you're right. Yeah. Because I have resources for therapy that I should be starting next week. So I know that it'll be controlled. I started taking medication now too, so it will be fine. And so I don't know, hopefully I will be getting a job soon. It's funny. DoorDash. Thanks, Ashley. I'm doing Uber Eats right now. Actually, I'm on pause, so that's where I'm at. I just delivered something, so thank you. That's what's keeping me afloat. To pay for my car and storage and phone and food and all that. So anyway, so that's the end of it. That's my story. I was just gonna finish up because my phone died yesterday, and so this is part 2. And the sun set. So no more pretty view, and that's it basically. I'm gonna get back to work. I hope you guys have a good night, and if there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. Put it in the comments. Any questions anybody has, anything at all. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's not always, I'm just doing this little series for this part of my life, but I do have other good content on there. Like, I got some yoga, and I'm gonna start making some content about things to do to be healthier on a holistic side, where, like, in all areas of life. So be sure to like and subscribe and comment if you want, and ring that little bell so you get notifications. Okay, thanks for coming on, guys. Oh, I don't hate you, Maddie. It's just not like that. I'm not here to pick up guys, but thank you. I'm here to help people. All right, thanks, guys. Love you. Have a great night.